From being called a miraculous hotel to becoming a death ray spot, this hotel in Las Vegas has been in controversy for a long time for its unique design. And buildings like these were created with the intention of being a piece of art, but instead ended up as a piece of failure. And today we're going to talk about 5 of these biggest building failures. Make sure you stay tuned to the end, because I said so? I don't know. At number 5, we have the Aon Center. Originally known as the Standard Oil Building, the Aon Center was the 3rd tallest building in Chicago, and it was completed in 1973. With the decision to sheath the entire structure in Italian Carrara marble, it was not only a visual delight to see, but also a very costly delight. However, it was a beautiful building that came with a very high price tag. It also had a very fetching exterior. As Carrara marble is much thinner material than the usual building materials used to clad buildings, one of the slabs detached from the building in 1974 and crashed into the neighboring Prudential Center's roof, causing so much damage to the building. The investigation revealed that the unsuitable marble was cracking and bowing all along the exterior walls of the building. As a result, the building had to be refaced with granite at a cost of $80 million. But it was much better for it. Number 4, John Hancock Tower. Located in Boston, the John Hancock Tower is an iconic 60-story high skyscraper that was designed by the acclaimed architectural firm of I.M. Pei and Partners, and it was unveiled to the public in 1976. It was acclaimed by the architectural community for its sleek, minimalist appearance, but it was notoriously plagued with problems. One of the most significant problems for this building was the fact that its windows were falling out and crashing to the ground hundreds of feet below. In fact, it was explained by Mathis Levy and Mario Salvadori in the 1992 book Why Buildings Fall Down that this occurs due to unanticipated, repeated thermal stresses on the panels of the building. It's estimated that all 10,000 windows will have to be replaced at a cost of $5 million in the end. But not only this, there was one other major problem encountered by the John Hancock Tower too. Although the sway of skyscrapers is meant to absorb the strong forces and gusts of wind, the building's residents are generally not affected by the sway because they're unable to perceive it. However, there was such a dramatic swaying in the John Hancock Tower that it gave the occupants of the upper floors motion sickness as a result of such a strong sway. Finally, the problem was solved by Cambridge engineer William Lemessurier at the turn of the century. Number 3, Vdara Hotel and Spa. There's no doubt that potential guests are researching for hotels, and when they're doing it, they hope to find certain features, such as minibars, gyms, or proximity to other attractions, which may make their trip that much more enjoyable. However, the Vdara Hotel and Spa in Las Vegas offers a unique accoutrement that neither its guests nor its architects anticipated: a death ray. In 2010, guests at the Vdara Hotel in Las Vegas reported that the building gave them severe sunburns. A 57-story building covered with windows, which sends hot rays into the pool area below, is reportedly like a magnifying glass, creating a magnifying effect with its windows. During the day, the hot spot moves across the pool area, increasing the temperature of the pool by around 20 degrees as the day goes on. In early June of 2016, a guest claimed in the Instagram that pool area was 107.6 degrees Fahrenheit. But the hotel has found a simple fix, which was umbrellas. According to Mary Hines, Director of Public Affairs for MGM Resorts, the company that owns the Vdara, there have been giant blue umbrellas put up all over the pool deck to protect bathers from the sun. There have been no reports of burns received by the company since the initial incidents in 2010. While the umbrellas have mitigated the rays and quieted the controversy to some extent, there is a possibility that the problem might not have completely disappeared. Number 2, Ray and Maria Strata Center. In order to create the Ray and Maria Strata Center and the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, award-winning architect Frank Gehry was tasked with the task. And since its opening in 2004, it's home to the Department of Linguistics and Philosophy, the Laboratory for Information for Decision Systems, and Computer Science and Artificial Intelligence Laboratory. However, despite its logically defying angles and walls, it challenged the laws of physics so much that it was hailed as an engineering wonder. And within 3 years of the building's opening, MIT filed a negligence suit against Gehry, claiming that design defects in the $300 million structure had caused the building to have structural problems. There were drainage issues that caused cracks in the wall as a result. The roof was draped with icicle daggers that hung from it like deadly sash weights that hung from the windows. In fact, there was mold growing in the brick exterior of the building. It's estimated that the school spent more than $1.5 million on repairs. Skanska USA Building, the construction company responsible for the construction of the building, said in a statement that the company had repeatedly tried to warn Gehry of the problems associated with the design and asked him to choose materials that were more suitable for the project. The spokesman said, "We were told to proceed with the original design. It was difficult to make the original design work. Oftentimes, people start making a piece of art, but they become so engrossed in it that they lose sight of the basics of that art. And they make a lot of blunders that will not only cost them a lot of money, but a lot of untold regrets. Anyways, moving on to number 1, Lotus Riverside. Located in Shanghai, the Lotus Riverside apartment complex consists of 11 13-story buildings that form a residential complex. And on June 27, 2009, one of the buildings toppled over, just barely missing an adjacent building on its way down. It's likely that if it hadn't been missed, one toppled building might have tipped over into another, causing a horrifying domino effect that, fortunately, didn't occur. There were 629 units in that development, of which 489 have been sold. As a matter of fact, many buyers were calling for their money back to be refunded, and the authorities are taking steps to put them at ease. Nevertheless, a statement on the municipal government's official website says the assets of the project's developer, Shanghai Maidu Property Development Co., have been frozen, and city officials are confident that the developer will be able to repay homebuyers. Initially, according to reports, the accident is believed to have been caused by the excavations for the construction of a garage underneath the collapsed building. There were large quantities of earth removed from the site and dumped into a landfill into a nearby creek. As a result, the weight of the earth caused the riverbank to collapse, allowing water to seep into the ground, creating muddy foundations for buildings that eventually collapsed. As reported by the South China Morning Post, the piles used in the Lotus Riverside development, made up of pre-stressed, precast concrete piles, are illegal in Hong Kong due to the fact that they're not strong enough to support the kind of ultra-high buildings that are typical in Hong Kong. In mainland China, however, they're often used because buildings there are typically shorter. But apart from this, China has been plagued by quality problems in the construction industry for quite some time now. But these problems seem to be more prevalent in rural areas and smaller cities, rather than in major cities like Shanghai and Beijing. In fact, there was a growing criticism of shoddy construction when school buildings were leveled by last year's massive Sichuan earthquake. A number of parents blamed the earthquake for making tofu buildings that collapsed with other nearby structures, being narrowly missed. Basically, that's very much due to the fact that land observations have been poorly done and cheap products have been used during production. Taking care of a building is not only about the quality of the materials, but also about the way in which it's observed, like a child. That's how a building becomes a monument. And that brings us to the end of the video. We really hope that you liked the video. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more amazing videos, And also don't forget to press that bell icon so you don't miss updates from us. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Until then, peace.